The air we breathe is an inescapable necessity of life. But here in the Middle East, indoor air quality isn't given the due attention it warrants. Indeed, of a global market valued at more than $6 billion, the GCC boasts a meagre 3% share. I'm Tom Oxtoby, editor of MEP Middle East, and I quizzed Emirates Green Building Council Secretary Sarfraz Dairkee on what needs to happen for the region to give greater consideration to indoor air quality.
According to the latest surveys which all across the world, there is a huge amount of urbanization. The world is moving towards urbanization. The second thing that whenever we talk of urbanization, we are talking that almost 90% of the time in urban places, people spend indoor. So that is extremely important that we are talking of indoor air quality. When we talk of indoor, then there are lots of, we have to consider, in fact, a broader aspect of it is indoor environmental quality. But right now let us focus on the indoor air quality. And that is very, very important, both in terms of productivity and return on investment. You see, basically when we talk of indoor air quality, there are residential places and there are working places. In residential places, you require to have comfort and renovate yourself. And the offices, you require productivity. So that is more important to see that the indoor air quality has a very profound effect on the productivity of the people who are involved over there. And so basically we are not only looking from the human aspect of it, but we are also looking from the financial and return on investment aspect of it. And that is, I feel that the industry doesn't think in terms of anything else. What matters is the bottom line. That is the language which is understood, that is the currency which an industry has to follow. That is the natural thing. It's like just gravity, you can't change the gravity. One thing is, I am from that school of thought, where I believe the regulations are kind of tip of iceberg. It doesn't move the industry. It can only nudge the industry. You can just nudge the industry, and that will, the name of the game is bottom line. And if you are able to raise that awareness level, that your bottom line will be healthy by providing a good indoor air quality, I think that is much more important than putting the regulations in place. And that comes from the awareness. Now, when we talk of awareness, there is one thing which human beings are very, very simple. One thing which I learned in my management school, or it's very simple, common word. The thing which you have to measure to manage it. Anything which you cannot measure, it is very, very difficult to manage. So first thing, why the thermal comfort becomes easily, because that is very, very easily measured. If you talk of 23 degrees centigrade, you ask anyone in the on the roadside, they will say that 23 degrees centigrade is the comfort. But if you ask of humidity level, that ratio will come down. If you talk of CO2 concentration level, that will come down even further. And if you talk of the rest of the subtle things, you will find very, very rare people are talking about it. The challenge is to measure that. With the change of IoTs and the sensors, that possibility has, the cost of measurement and bringing it into the level has come down drastically over the period of 20 years. I could imagine that, like when I started my career, to check the wind velocities, I used to climb up about at least 6 to 8 meters and read it and then record it. It's a tough task. Now I can even have the luxury of monitoring my site here, and I can check the temperature in what's happening in, just now I told you that in Malaysia, precisely on my table. So basically when we bring that awareness level and measurement, put those values there, then there will be people will be able to associate the outcomes with those measurements. You can measure the temperature, you can measure the relative humidity, you can measure the CO2 levels, you can use the particulate matters PMs, which is very, very much nowadays talked about. So it could be just displayed. Probably one of the regulation could do that was make it kind of mandatory or encourage that all those values are displayed at a prominent place, and which is not with the today's technology. It is very easy to do that. It is very cost effective, and they can even have a kind of measurement on the productivity. The moment industry is convinced that it brings money, they will definitely do that. Then you don't have to bring any regulation. That it's self-regulating.
That's all for now. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the like button, subscribe, share, and leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next instalment of MEP Engineered.